Hello, Monetization Nation. Welcome back to another episode with Dario Sipos. In the last episode, we discussed how to increase our credibility through digital retail marketing. In today's episode, Dario and I will be discussing 6 principles from his book, Digital Retail Marketing. So in your book, you start off talking about the future of advertising and how ads are suffocating the internet. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So, when you wake up in the morning, this is how I start lectures with most of entrepreneurs. You have to understand my clientele in Europe. It's like old school entrepreneurs that started retail 20 years ago, 30 years ago. They are very skilled at it. Most of them started at, level of having a washing machine sold from some small corner, which then expand, and then they have huge warehouses and everything functions. So the people of this type, they believe in complexity. They think that everything is complex because they transfer their experience from building a warehouse. They transfer their view of how building a retail functions to digital marketing. They think that the same level of effort will be needed to handle digital marketing as building a warehouse, that they will need 10 years, and that the budgets will be, huge. So when I come to meetings, I always start telling them, how many of you woke up today wanting to see an advertisement on internet? Who opens the mobile phone or PC to want to see an advertisement? And they all get for a second shocked, and they got surprised. And then they grasp the concept, So I asked them, so why are your people paying ads? Why are you every day coming to your job and having meetings with your marketing department, and you continue to pay ads? And they tell me it's a habit. They don't know how to do it other way. So I actually wrote this book based on my instructions. I had a bunch of instructions on paper, like brochures, which I was giving to people. Then one day I realized, one colleague told me, you should write a book. There is enough book material. And I needed 2 years to comprehend that I could actually just use it to create a book. And when I wrote a book, I started giving this book to entrepreneurs, retailers, telling them, look, don't pay ads. It's not working for you well. First, you have to have organic positioning. You have to work on that because it affects the price of ads. Then also, no one can tell your story better than you. So this is the first chapter, how I start. This is my hook to them. It works extremely well. I never had a person that did not understand, and you can see a light bulb above their head getting surprised. And after, I usually hold 2-day session, they urgently, even, when we have breaks, they start calling their marketing department and asking questions.
That's great. So there was the good old days where they would buy a bunch of advertising and tell the world how awesome they were. And then there was this new approach where you recommended they didn't buy ads, and you recommended they take a more organic approach. So focusing on search engine optimization. What other things did you recommend for them in this new marketing strategy?
For example, huge expenses in companies are usually cooperations with news magazines. They are using news magazines for a PR. When they publish some news, they even have that sponsored article, which doesn't look well. The people know it's paid. So I am teaching them really guerrilla methods, like how to use PR services, like PR Underground, which will distribute your press release to 500 sources in USA. And then they tell me, but we are in Europe. Why would we want to be distributed in USA? And I teach them that based on a book of Ryan Holiday, where he explains that you need to start from higher authority. So what we did, for example, for one campaign in Central Europe is that we couldn't get our company that I was representing, we couldn't get it in local news, even though the company was doing a lot. Occasionally when we would donate a lot of money, we would end up in local news. So what we did is we wrote article in some blogs, which of course didn't have blog in the name, it was like news sites. We wrote the article how company is doing well. It was placed in USA. Then we distributed it using a PR underground service to 500 news outlets. Few news outlets picked it up. Then what happened is I contacted local newspaper and said, look, the company which you are ignoring in Europe is in news in USA. And instantly they got interested and started writing. Complete campaign, everything what we did was $55, if I recalculate. And now these local news are really monitoring what the company is doing, even writing like, what are you doing? Is there something new, and they publish us for free. So we have arrived from higher authority from abroad, transferred the news to smaller blogs. So now the blogs are transferring us. This is one of the methods which I'm using them. And it's needed a lot of convincing, because entrepreneurs in Europe are quite used paying 20,000 euros, which is $25,000 for their interview to show up in daily newspapers. That's like normal.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but it's hook. I teach them also in book. I explain the hook model, how you hook people, and I tell them, people, I'm showing you hook model. How do you hook people in in the social media? But who is hooked by the interviews you are paying in daily newspapers? The CEO of the company. You are hooked because you see your name on this news, and you are hooked to it. So you think, oh, I need to pay 20K euros or something to see my name more. You are not hooking customers. So stop doing it,
That's right. Okay. So again, this is another credibility marketing strategy. This seems to be a theme in this interview. So you were able to go to a more credible site, and you were able to get your articles, your story told on more credible sites, and then you use that as leverage to get onto the sites that you really wanted to be published on.
Exactly. It's all about, that's proven through my personal experience and career from that first story which I had about how I placed first product in stores. It's all about placing seed of credibility around you, millions of small seeds credibility around you in any possible way. And then one day it all comes together. It's not even needed to have like a strategy. It's like placing references, it's modern day reviews, what people are doing. Just the reviews in this way are created and controlled by you. And it gives you credibility. I mean, you are doing nothing bad. Everyone is like, how do you say? What I wanted to say is like, it's ethical. People, when I explain them how digital marketing is done, the hook model, most of the people in Europe ask me, is that ethical? And they are convinced that somehow social media is evil.
All right. Chapter 1 of your book talks about retail marketing in a digital age. You want to comment on that a little bit?
Yeah. So I would say that when I went to research subject for my book, I got like idea digital retail marketing book, and I was like shocked when I researched books written on that subject. I couldn't find any books. I still cannot find the books. When you check the statistics, like so many people in the world then depends on retail or work with retail, and there is no book, and there is absolutely no book about content marketing. There are many books about e-commerce, but something defined about content marketing. Why content marketing? Because it's free. Anyone can do it. It's either completely free or very low cost. I mean, low cost because you need to hire someone to do it, or you can outsource it. So in this first chapter, I speak why is it important, why to do it. And the main premise is that anyone can do it. From the small stores to big stores to marketers, entrepreneurs, whoever wants to do it.
So you talk about in that chapter a brief history of retail stores and the new opportunities of retail business. Do you want to comment on that just a little bit?
Yeah. So retail, as you know, basically started retail as we have now in Europe. In USA, you are more advanced, so it's like transfer to us. Sometimes, when I'm checking technologies and systems which we use, I have like feeling we are 10 years behind, and what already happened in USA will happen soon in Europe. So history of retail, how do you say, when internet showed up, there are many opportunities. With internet showing up, many opportunities showed up, rising up. So I think that we didn't, most of the retailers didn't understand the internet, how they can utilize it, while other companies are using it outside of the area, like insurance companies or even retailers didn't understand. This is because of this approach, which I mentioned to you, that they think it's 10 years process, that you need to have project management and teams which will work on that. And in hard work, in 10 years, you will have social media. I have people literally telling me that 30 days is not enough to open Instagram channel. And these are serious people who own 200 stores. I was on one meeting and I couldn't comprehend. So I went on screen and I started opening Instagram. It's not that they don't know. It's not that they are not skilled. They just, history is working against them. Because when you check the history of retail, you see that major progress is done every 30 years. And the people think it's a long game. And the internet is bringing very fast game into this. So the point of the chapter is like to bring them in. And then in chapter 2, move to actual reality online. What's the reality?
Yeah, I love it. And that speed, things transformed or evolved every 30 years in the past, but it feels like things are evolving every, 5 years or so now. It seems like the speed at which things are transforming is rapidly accelerating. All right, let's talk about internet traffic and algorithms, your third chapter of the book.
Yeah, so, how to say, most of the people who do not work in internet marketing, even some which do work, do not understand the relationship of prices of the ads and organic positioning. They do not understand that if they have better organic positioning, that the ads will be paid less. And every day almost I have a meeting with someone and I'm explaining them, people, you cannot just like pay ads. It will, if you're serious about your company, you have to create social media, if for nothing else, just to establish your brand credibility. When people are checking your website, because the website is basis of everything, they will go check your social media, just that they see that you exist, that you are a real company. So I'm trying to explain them that actually the internet algorithms are emulation of real life. If you are relevant in real life, if you are a famous brand in your area, if your stores are well known, then the people will recommend you to other people. And social media algorithms work in a similar way. They're mimicking the real life, transferring, collecting all the positive reviews about you or negative, and then lifting you on the organic search, which then results in dropping your ads. And in practice, I had tremendous success with this. Companies which didn't use social media, I cooperate with some Google experts, and Google says from the time you start doing digital marketing in a serious way, social media marketing, your results of organic positioning will increase in 14 to 16 months. Actually, what happens is that they increase in 3 to 6 months. So, Alexa.com tool will show you huge increase of ranking in 3 months. And that then motivates the people, and the prices of ads drop. So the costs of sales suddenly become more profitable. I will tell you experience that cost of sale without social media marketing in Europe is 5.6%, and with social media marketing, even after 6 months, is 2%, which makes then transactions on online sales profitable.
The next chapter of your book talks about the structure of content creation. What's your advice on that?
So most of the how it functions in retail, this is standard error which I've seen, is that in retail, because it's a simple business, you have some goods, you are selling it, you can teach anyone to do anything, right? You can teach a warehouse person to handle invoices and vice versa. So the most of the people working in retail, they think it's same with social media. So very often I get assigned, when I come to company and I try to be a consultant, I get assigned a person and they tell me, this will be your person that you will educate in digital marketing. And I will tell you, I had a meeting, for example, in Netherlands. There was 25-year-old girl assigned to me, very nice person, finished nice university. She will be my digital marketing officer, which I need to train in everything. And she tells me first sentence, I hate Facebook. I hate social media. I do not own any social media. I think it's evil. And I'm staring at her and what to do now? And so what I wanted to say as example is that most of retailers think that they can assign anyone to social media or digital marketing. Still, you need to assign a person that loves to do it. And I had a great success in one company, huge company, by convincing them to give a person, a low-level, nothing special person, one kind guy to handle TikTok. And he's making such success. He reaches 600,000 viewers per video for his retail store. And the management doesn't even know what's happening. They're looking at these silly videos, because TikTok is not, it's a collection of silly videos. And they do not understand why 600,000 population of 3.9 million of Croatians are looking at these videos. So Croatia has 3.9 million. And 600,000 people views the video of some person, low marketing content manager, which was assigned to do TikTok. And he was assigned because he was proactive. So I said, let's give to this guy this. And there was a lot of resistance, So I'm trying to explain how to structure content creation. Basically, I'm trying to explain that it's all about simplifying, that you just need to find someone in company who loves to do it. And usually the person who will be good at it, you would never expect it. For example, in one customer in Czech Republic, the best person for handling LinkedIn channel was one of the warehouse workers. And I noticed that one of the warehouse workers, when he was adding me as his connection, is handling LinkedIn exceptionally well. He was commenting, communicating with people. So I convinced the management to move that person to give him LinkedIn. And he was very successful. Unfortunately, he didn't get so much support. So he quitted at the current job and got a job as LinkedIn manager. So he's successful as LinkedIn manager. So the point of the chapter is that you can find people inside of your company. Do not hire agencies, because the agencies are only good as your knowledge is. The agencies never over-deliver above the knowledge of the CEO of the company.
All right, let's talk about story branding. What is story branding and what success have you seen through story branding?
So I would suggest to everyone listening, and I don't know if you read the book Story Brand by David Miller. It's an excellent book. I think it's one of the top sellers on Amazon. And he speaks there about social media and story branding. And I used his experiences plus mine to put it in a chapter about story branding. And I will tell you an example. I, for example, come to a company and I tell them, okay, people, we need to make a website. When I say we need to make a website, don't think this company doesn't have nothing. I was on a meeting with a company that had 2.3 billion euro turnover, and they had no website. And they had very old website, like 1998 design, in 2020. And I told them, we need to make a new website. And the owner tells me in front of the complete management, why would we need a website when we have 2.3 billion euro turnovers few years in a row and we are still alive? And you are convincing us that we need to get it. So once when I convince them that they need to get a website, they tell me, but what will we write about this website? They say, we are very boring story. We don't have any story for you to say, about us, because we started, selling washing machines. Then we were selling more washing machines. And in the end, we are selling 200 per day. So that's story about us, plus the owners want to be private. They are really scared, going in public, like having LinkedIn profile. So you have to educate very rich people that they need LinkedIn. They cannot comprehend why he's already wealthy. He doesn't need it. And what benefits will it be? Plus, these real entrepreneurs, they can be really modest and they're really not bragging. They are like traveling with trains. They're not driving flashy cars. So you're like trying to tell them that story branding is about telling their company story in a nice way. So they have a legacy behind them, so they leave a legacy. Plus, it will serve a purpose on a website. It will provide an anchor so people can educate themselves. And then, it's a base where you publish all your news, all your PR articles, which you can then expand to social media. And I will tell you that I wrote stories, of companies. Every company, if exists 30 years, they have extremely interesting story. Just they are not aware of it. When they are living interesting story, they think it's boring.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's talk about developing content ideas. How do we inspire our content teams to have great content ideas?
So part of that inspiring content teams to have content ideas is to find people that like social media, and there are people always who in start like it and some don't like it, because getting inspired for content ideas is researching online. Big part of content ideas is that in retail, people think that they need to publish news about refrigerator, and often I hear we published news about refrigerator and we got 15 likes and we don't get any followers. It's a picture of refrigerator with some specifications. And I tell them, people, if anyone, I actually told this to one client yesterday, if any person comes to your account and he clicks follow to read specifications of refrigerator, something's wrong with that person. He needs psychiatry. So we need to write a story. So we are writing stories. To write stories, we need to go on internet. We need to use tools like Write Relevance, which will sort you for free all the news articles. And we need to get content inspired from other sources. So we don't want to write specifications of refrigerators. We want to write about, climate change and refrigerators, how we are reducing climate change with it. And that works very well. It's just like providing, insight, because most of marketing teams, especially retailers, what they want to publish on social media is what they print in printed leaflets, which is just specs and prices. So you need to get them over it and explain them why. And that's what this chapter does.
Nice. Your next chapter talks about writing as an efficient writer. And you talk about the importance of catching someone's attention in less than 6 seconds. What advice do you have how to do that?
Yeah, in book I give advice on how to write catchy headlines. This is now, a few years, 2 years ago when I started writing the book, this was like novelty. Now there are many websites. There are even some sites which help you write catchy headlines. The point is that this is again, targeted to retail, but it works also for any other industry. It's to prevent people writing about their field. They need to understand that their articles need to help someone. So you cannot write an article about refrigerator. You need to write an article about someone who is trying to buy refrigerators, address the issues which he is having. You need to address all the, problems which he has. In my lectures, I usually use the article example. I tell them, did you read Harry Potter books? How does book start? Did the book start, hi, I am J.K. Rowling and I always wanted to start writing a book about small wizard. That's not how the book starts. The J.K. Rowling does not explain it in such way. She explains it in a way, as a fairy tale. So you need to write the stories that help your customers, because the customers are Googling. It also works, of course, great for SEO because the customers are searching how to solve their issues. And that's what your articles need to be about, solving customers' issues.
Thank you so much, Dario, for sharing your stories and insights with us today. Here are some of my key takeaways from this episode. Number 1, no one likes seeing ads. We should use other ways to reach our audience, such as credibility marketing or content marketing. Number 2, anyone can do content marketing. Number 3, we can leverage a higher authority to gain credibility. Number 4, When we have good organic positioning, the prices for ads will drop. Number 5, we should find the people who love social media to handle that for us. If they love it, they will do a better job. Number 6, story branding can build our legacy and provide an anchor for people to educate themselves about our company. Number 7, in addition to telling our own story, we should be telling our customers' stories to answer their questions and help solve their problems. To learn more about or connect with Dario, you can find him on LinkedIn or visit his website at dariosipos.com, or you can find his book, Digital Retail Marketing, on amazon.com. And there's links to each of those sites in the blog post for this episode at monetizationnation.com. Do you want to take your digital marketing to the next level? You can get a free ebook about passion marketing and learn how to become a top priority for your ideal customers at passionmarketing.com. You can also subscribe to Monetization Nation for free on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, our Facebook group, and on your favorite podcast platform. Do you need help with your digital monetization strategy? Then visit monetizationpartners.com to schedule a free consultation. Thanks for joining me for this episode. I wish you success in your digital retail marketing. Do you want to become a better digital monetizer? To receive great monetization stories and secrets, please go to monetizationnation.com and join free. And if you liked today's episode, please subscribe to the show and share it.